Update. Am I the asshole for keeping track of the outfits my friends wear? Original post. I posted about a week ago, and a brief recap is that I recorded descriptions of the outfits my friends wore over a 3-year period without telling my friends, and, when one of my friends found out, she told the others and was upset. Most of the comments called me the aw, and I understand where I went wrong now and decided to talk to my friends about it. I asked my friends if I could talk to them, and, over the weekend, when we were all free, we talked over FaceTime and I explained to them why I started keeping track of their outfits, how long I've done it for, and why I kept doing it. I told them that I was sorry for not telling them and didn't realize it would make them upset. I told them I'd delete the information if they'd like and that I'll stop doing it if they want me to. 2 of my close friends on the call said that they understood what I was doing better now. They said they didn't really mind that I was recording their outfits, but they would have liked to know first. I promised to run it by them if I do something I think might bother them in the future. They asked for me to show them my data, which I did, and they asked me to send them a copy because they said they honestly thought it was interesting. My other friend, the one who originally found the data, said that she was a little creeped out by it, but thanked me for explaining. She apologized for reacting so strongly without giving me a chance to explain, and I told her that it's fine and I don't blame her. So, yeah, we're back to getting along now. My friends are great people, and they're a little weird too, which is why we make great friends. I love them, and I'm glad they're so understanding. Thank you very much to everyone who responded to me. I really appreciate your advice and opinions. To the people asking if I have ASD, OCD, etc., I don't know, and I can't get tested for any of these things until I'm an adult because it's not something my parents would approve of. I've been learning what those things are though, but I wouldn't say I have either, as I haven't been formally diagnosed. To the people calling me a serial killer or a stalker, I'm not either of those, but you're free to have your own opinions. To people calling me dishonest, I don't know how to prove to you I'm not. To people who told me they're surprised I have friends, the person who privately messaged me to call me tard, and the person who privately messaged me to tell me to KLL myself, maybe take a step back and examine your life choices if a stranger's post on Reddit got you this mad. To the people who compared me to Dennis Reynolds and Abed, lol. That's all for now, but thank you again. Edit. Thank you for all of your responses. Also, I'm very sorry if I can't respond to everyone or if it takes me a while to respond. Thank you very much for the awards. This situation is a great reason why this subreddit exists. You may have originally been the asshole, but coming here and discussing what you did may have allowed you to take a step back and objectively see what you were doing, and you made attempts to correct your behavior. For that reason, in my opinion, you're not ta. People are the asshole if they continue to do weird, shitty behavior without taking other people's consent or comfort level into consideration. I'm glad this worked out so well. What great friends. Also, I'm sorry that your parents withhold medical care from you. That's not normal or healthy, and if there are other adults in your life who you trust, you might want to talk to them about that. What's important is that when you realized your actions caused your friends to be upset, you apologized. That's a very mature thing to do. Edit. Forgot to mention, don't listen to people who try to diagnose you psychologically on Reddit. Most people just regurgitate what they see on television. You would make a brilliant data scientist. Have you thought about that as a possible career choice? I'm glad you talked to your friends. Personally, I think it was a no assholes here situation. This is something I'd totally do and wouldn't think twice about it. Because research is interesting. I suggest you look into psychology, sociology, or maybe even archaeology if you plan to go to college. You seem tailor-made for academia. And I say no assholes here because I can also understand why someone might be confused why their good friend was keeping data on them without ever being told. No one right or wrong, just people establishing new boundaries and learning more about each other. This is a happy story less than 3. If you like keeping track of outfits, have you tried keeping track of your own? There's an app called Stylebook that allows to upload photos of all your clothing and then create outfits. There's a calendar feature that allows you to track which days you wore each outfit. You can also enter how much each piece costs and it gives you a cost per wear metric. Seems you like data and maybe you can apply it to yourself. Edit. Thanks for the award. This is a great update. For what it's worth, I am a data scientist, and when it comes to future careers, our community will welcome you with open arms because of your natural curiosity towards data and trends. And hey, now that they know you're doing it, you can now study the trend variance between your blind data and new data. Can anyone point me to the answer? How often am I allowed to repeat outfits? All this research and I do not have an answer. My gut says it may depend on the occasion. Like office, school can repeat once weekly. Formal events never repeat. Casual clothing like hooded sweatshirt and sweats 2-3 times per week. Man, I never thought about this until I read this post. Now I must know. Glad it worked out for you. I feel like you fall in with a group of folks who are analytically minded, at least in this case. I'm friends with accountants, so we have spreadsheets with a lot of personal information in them so we can quickly reference it if needed. Difference is, we all knew it was made and what info would be in it and what it would be used for. Good that you guys worked it out, and now you know in the future should something like this pop up again. Thanks for the update. What you did does strike me as an indication of possible neurodivergent behavior. There's nothing wrong with that at all, by the way, but you may want to read up on it and see if anything resonates with you. Also, FYI, when it comes to work clothes, I wear the same 4 outfits MF every week, different each day but the same 4 outfits MF. On Fridays I'm allowed to be casual, so I have a couple different outfits I'll wear on Fridays. On my days off though, I just wear whatever is comfortable, and honestly that often means I'll wear the same outfit 3 days in a row. Idgaff. Honestly can't believe how many you are the asshole comments you got. I really don't think it's a big deal if you want to record what people are wearing. If you were journaling about your day-to-day interactions with people and you included a description of what they were wearing, would anyone care? I guess because the info is on a spreadsheet or whatever, it becomes not okay. That doesn't make sense to me. I think you might have a future in research. So freaking awesome that your friends wanted to see the data. I understand why they were freaked out, but I'm glad they came around. I love it when people realize what they did wrong and fix it. I don't think you were the asshole in all honesty. But regardless, I think it's a cool thing to do and better now that your friends are aware. I just saw your original post a few minutes ago and I'm shocked at the judgment. I would have said not the asshole. I can't believe people were saying you invaded privacy by collecting public information. Man, if I found out my friend had been noting my outfits 5 days a week for 3 years, I'd be helping them collate the data and graphically interpret it, then post it to Data as Beautiful, whilst realizing I should probably buy more clothes. Glad you've got pretty cool and understanding friends. As a person who audits and performs data analysis as part of their job, I just want to say there's a place in this world for you. I don't think you performed this action with malice and you learned some valuable lessons. Being observational, curious, and disciplined will serve you well, when applied appropriately. Best wishes. I missed your original post but glad I caught up. Interesting story and I'm happy it worked out for you. Those people in your inbox making ridiculous accusations or telling you to kill yourself. Those are the 12-year-olds of Reddit. They remind me of toddlers who like to scream bad words. And like all toddlers, you just ignore the tantrums and wait for them to grow up. Peace to you, Wendy. I'm so proud of you handling this so maturely. This is a great outcome, and I'm even more impressed now I know you're a minor. I don't think you mentioned it in the first post. I hope you are able to get tested soon if you want to. Congrats on growing from the asshole to not the asshole. Wait, you were just tracking what they were wearing and people called you a serial killer? Were you trying to see a pattern or something? I mean, I guess it's pretty useless information and maybe a little creepy and puzzling if they find out, but it's not really an invasion of privacy. It seems pretty harmless to me. I'm so sorry people on Reddit can be so mean. Glad you kept your head above the bullshit and it worked out in the end. Have you seen the movie Harriet the Spy, from the 90s? That's what this reminds me of, not in a bad way. I hope you pursue a STEM career. I think you have the mind for it. Glad you were able to resolve things with the friends that were a bit creeped out. This is what this subreddit should be for, to help solve problems. I honestly would be super interested if someone kept track of my outfits like this. I really want to branch out my style some more lately but always still seem to fall back in basic comfort clothes. Would really enjoy finding a way to shake it up a bit. I don't know, and I can't get tested for any of these things until I'm an adult because it's not something my parents would approve of. Hi there, I don't know how old you are, or where you are, but this kind of concerns me. In a lot of places if you are over a certain age you can talk to a doctor about it and they're legally not allowed to discuss with your parents without your consent, so it may not be a bad idea to at least discuss it. I have no idea if you have any neurodivergent condition, and I'm not saying you do, but if you are curious, it never hurts to do some tests. I hope you strongly consider going into a career in data science. This could be the first project in your portfolio. I think that you would really enjoy the field of sociology. Just something to keep in mind as you move into adulthood. The problem with telling them beforehand is that it may skew the results of the experiment. Jokes aside, glad it worked out. Okay, so the burning question. How frequently is it appropriate to repeating outfit? Nah. So I just read through both your original post and this one, and this is peak autism spectrum behavior, especially the pattern identification, so you can learn how often it's socially acceptable to reuse the same outfit. You're definitely not an asshole for doing this, but your friends' feelings are valid and I'm super glad to hear you've talked it out with them. Welcome to the spectrum. You have some really great friends. And I've been wearing the same sweatpants for like a week straight. As long as they're clean, wear them as often as you'd like. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident. OMG, the Abed comparison, love it. He was perhaps the best character on the show. Okay, I didn't see the original post, but the data analyst in me was charmed by what you were doing with your recordings of your friends' outfits. Please go into some form of science when you grow up. This mindset is hella valuable. Yay. That's a very mature conversation, and a fantastic explanation. Your friends are great, but so are you. You should be proud of the way you handled yourself here. And this is so wholesome. Thank you for sharing. Updates are my favorite part of this sub. This is really sweet. Though the original post was a bit weird, but weird isn't always bad. Glad you and your friends have such a solid relationship and could talk it out. You seem like a very mature and kind group. Thanks for the update. I might be in the minority, but I wouldn't necessarily jump to the ASD diagnosis. Weird? Sure, but lots of people do weird things. I will be completely honest and say that when I read your original post just now, I didn't see it originally. I kind of wanted to do it with people at work lol. I'm not going to, but I like data points too, so it would be interesting to see for sure. Glad your friends and you are good. It's funny, I read your Initla post before I read the update, and I could help but be reminded of this scene from the TV show Community. I got to thinking, it could have certainly been worse. I'm really glad you and your friends have hashed this out. Yeah, it might be a little weird, but ultimately it's harmless. As a guy who makes his living utilizing big data, I couldn't help but have a certain appreciation for what you were doing. Good on you for talking with them. I'm making an assumption that you're a woman, so forgive me if I'm wrong or presumptuous, but autism in women have been an illuminating resource for me if you're interested in checking that resource out. I just read your original post. Sounds like you did the right thing by talking to your friends about it. All the haters who private messaged you those hurtful things should be ashamed of themselves, and you should report the one who told you to KLL yourself, so they can be banned. That's definitely against the rules. Sure, what you do isn't typical, but there are a lot of people in this world who like to meticulously write down and analyze data. Trinespotters, food diarists are examples. Maybe since you notice your friends' clothing trends, you have a future in fashion or data analysis. Turn your passion into your strength. So, how often can one repeat an outfit? Your parents wouldn't approve of you having a mental illness? That's far more concerning than any of the rest of this. Some people are just passionate about data. Have you thought about pursuing a career in statistics? I think you might like it. I am so sorry some people were so awful to you. I have a child with OCD, and I could actually see him doing something similar. He keeps spreadsheets, just not about people. I will say that unless you have something similar, this is usual behavior. Can you try stopping and see if you are able to? If you can't stop, you honestly probably have an undiagnosed condition. If you can stop, but you like spreadsheets and fashion, you may want to switch to a spreadsheet with celebrity outfits, or something that feels a bit less invasive. I'm so glad things are worked out with your friends. You are to be commended for tackling the situation head on and wanting to make things right. That's not an easy thing to do sometimes. I hope you know that your organization and interest in data and research can open a lot of doors for you as you progress through your education and career choices. You can find jobs or projects where something similar to this would be your entire objective. Good luck with everything. You sound like you have a great head on your shoulders and a kind, solid spirit. Don't listen to these people. It is a little odd, but nothing here ever made you an asshole. I can understand why your friends may be a little upset with it at first. But honestly, it is just a strange thing that you do, but it is also very interesting. If somebody was doing this to me, I would just be really curious about the results. People on here got way too upset by this. This is an update I'm really glad to see. IIRC, you're pretty young, and realizing that your friends were hurt, confused and apologizing took a lot of maturity. And I'd also be interested in see how my outfits have changed over the years. Your friends sound cool. I'm glad you managed to patch things up. If your friends give you permission to anonymize the data, you should write a paper or present your findings somewhere. I'm way too late here, but I wish someone did this for me and then I could quantify how my style has changed, seen the exact last time I wore something so I could know for sure if I should donate it, see exact times I thought trends were over. Man, I'm jealous.